Think a $6 can of WD-40 can quick fix anything? Think again. Spray it in the wrong spots, and you could end up with repair bills topping over $2,000. But use it the right way, and it could save you thousands in repairs over time. In this video, I'll reveal 4 common spots drivers spray it where they absolutely shouldn't, and smart hacks that will save you from visiting the workshop. Stick around till the end, because I'll reveal one unusual hack about WD-40 that you should start DIYing. First up is mistake number 1, avoid WD-40 on CVT transmission areas. Spraying WD-40 near your car's CVT transmission. It might seem like a harmless way to loosen a rusty bolt or quiet down a squeak, but it's a serious risk. CVTs, found in many sedans and crossovers, depend on a very specific type of transmission fluid. That fluid not only lubricates, but also maintains the exact hydraulic pressure needed to keep the steel belts or chains gripping the pulleys. If WD-40 sneaks in, even a tiny amount, it dilutes that fluid and breaks down its protective film. This results in delayed engagement, shuddering when you accelerate, and eventually total failure. And you know the worst part? Unlike a traditional automatic, CVTs can't usually be rebuilt. Most shops don't touch them. They swap the entire unit. That's a $4,000 to $6,000 bill for a new transmission, sometimes closer to $7,500 on certain imports. All from a $6 can sprayed in the wrong spot. If you're working around your transmission housing or cooler lines, use penetrating oil designed for bolts, not WD-40 anywhere near those seals. Mistake number 2, avoid using on paint and scratches. You'd be surprised how many people spray it on scratches, hoping they'll magically disappear. And yeah, at first glance, it looks like it works. That oily sheen fills the scratch just enough to make it vanish under the right lighting. I get it. It feels like a cheap fix when you don't want to stare at a scuff all week. But in reality, WD-40 doesn't repair scratches. It masks them temporarily and leaves behind a greasy film that attracts dirt and grime. Over time, that buildup can wear down your clear coat, dull the paint, and even cause discoloration. I've seen cases where people ended up needing a full panel repaint, costing anywhere from $300 for a small touch-up to over $3,000 for a larger respray. And that's not all. Some folks also spray WD-40 directly on painted body panels or rims thinking it's a cleaner. Big mistake. WD-40 contains petroleum-based solvents that can slowly weaken the protective clear coat when exposed to sunlight and heat. The shine you see at first? Temporary. Long term, it's damage waiting to happen. So what should you do instead? For scratches, use a proper scratch remover kit from brands like Meguiar's or Turtle Wax. These are designed to actually polish and protect your paint. And for cleaning panels or rims, stick with safe car shampoos or detailing sprays. WD-40 is great in your toolbox, but it's not a magic paint fixer. Mistake number 3, spraying WD-40 on battery terminals. Corroded terminals are one of the most common headaches for drivers. Pop your hood and see that white, crusty buildup, and it's tempting to grab a can of WD-40, but that's where people go wrong. Car batteries can arc, meaning they can throw tiny sparks when you connect or disconnect the cables. WD-40 is flammable, so if it's sitting on the terminals, you're basically adding fuel right next to a spark. That's not just a bad idea, that's a fire risk. And if a fire melts your wiring harness or damages surrounding components, repairs can quickly climb into the $1,000 to $2,500 range. Even if it doesn't ignite, WD-40 leaves behind a greasy film that traps dust and grime. That buildup interferes with the connection between the cable and the terminal, leading to weak starts, flickering electronics, or even a dead battery on a cold morning. A replacement battery, around $150 to $250. But if it fries the alternator or starter along the way, you're looking at $500 to $1,200 more. So what should you do? Stick to the classics. A wire brush and a mix of baking soda and water will neutralize the corrosion safely. After that, use a battery-specific protectant spray or even petroleum jelly. It's non-flammable and designed to prevent future buildup. That way, your battery stays clean, safe, and dependable without risking a fire or costly repairs. If you made it this far, then consider liking this video, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing to my channel. This helps me bring you more honest car advice. Coming back to the most dangerous WD-40 mistake drivers often neglect. Mistake number 4, spraying WD-40 on your brakes. Out of all the bad uses, this one tops the danger list. Drivers often reach for the can when they hear squeaky brakes or see a bit of rust on the rotors, but WD-40 and brakes are a terrible mix. Think about how brakes work. The pads clamp onto the rotors, and that friction is what slows your car down. WD-40's job is the exact opposite. It reduces friction, so when it coats your pads or rotors, your stopping distance gets longer, your pedal feels weaker, and in emergencies, your car simply won't stop the way it should. It gets worse. WD-40 doesn't just sit on the surface. It soaks into brake pads, permanently contaminating them, and can even eat into rubber caliper seals or flexible brake hoses. Once those parts are damaged, leaks start forming, and your brake system can lose pressure altogether. The price tag: replacing pads and rotors usually runs $250 to $500 per axle, but if the calipers or lines are ruined, you're suddenly staring at $1,000 plus, and that's before we even talk about the risk of an accident. The safe solution is simple: use a dedicated brake cleaner. It's designed to evaporate quickly without leaving any residue, keeping your rotors and pads clean while preserving the friction your car relies on to stop safely. Now here are the correct uses of WD-40 to actually save your wallet from draining. Smart use number 4, removing tar, sap, and bird droppings. At number 5, here's a WD-40 trick that actually works in your favor, removing stubborn stuff from your car's exterior. We're talking sticky tree sap, dried up bird droppings, and those black tar spots that love to stick behind your wheels. Left untreated, all three can etch into your clear coat and permanently stain your paint. WD-40 gives you a budget-friendly fix. Spray a little directly on the spot, let it sit for about a minute, then wipe it gently with a soft cloth. The solvents in WD-40 break down organic residue and tar without harming the paint underneath. The key is not to overdo it. Use it for spot cleaning, not as an all-over spray. Once the mess is gone, follow up with a quick wash using car-safe soap and water to clear any oily residue. Done right, this trick saves you from scrubbing for ages and keeps your paint from long-term damage, especially handy in summer when sap and droppings hit hardest. Smart use number 3, protecting rubber door seals. Use WD-40 to keep your car's rubber door seals soft and flexible. Over time, those seals start to dry out, crack, or even freeze shut in the winter. That's not just annoying, it can lead to wind noise, water leaks, and in some cases, soaked carpets and mold inside the cabin. Here's the easy trick: spray a little WD-40 on a clean cloth, never directly on the rubber, and gently wipe it along the seals of your doors, trunk, or hood. WD-40 creates a protective layer that blocks moisture, prevents UV cracking, and stops doors from sticking in hot weather or freezing in the cold. Think of it like conditioner for your car's rubber. It keeps everything supple and working the way it should. The payoff? A quieter, more comfortable cabin, seals that last longer, and less risk of costly leaks when heavy rain or snow hits. One quick wipe every few months can go a long way toward keeping your ride sealed tight and trouble-free. Smart use number 2, fighting rust and trouble spots. Rust doesn't usually start on the shiny hood or roof. It hides in the spots you rarely look at: the bottoms of doors, wheel wells, hinges, and the undercarriage. If you live near the coast, in a rainy state, or anywhere that uses road salt in the winter, your car is at high risk. After a wash, a light spray of WD-40 on exposed bolts, hinges, and metal seams can make a big difference. It forms a thin, protective film that blocks out moisture and slows down the oxidation process. Think of it like a shield against rust creeping in. Just avoid brakes, belts, and any parts where friction matters. Why does this matter? Rust repairs aren't cheap. A small patch fix might cost $200 to $500, but if rust spreads to your undercarriage or door panels, full repairs can easily run $1,500 to $3,000, or worse, turn into structural damage that totals an older car. Used monthly, this hack is especially handy for trucks, SUVs, and older vehicles where rust likes to sneak in first. A few minutes with WD-40 can literally add years to the life of your car's body and undercarriage. Smart use number 1, protecting spark plugs and ignition parts. Use WD-40 to keep your spark plugs and ignition system dry. Over time, moisture and grime build up around plugs, wires, and the distributor cap. That's a recipe for weak sparks, misfires, and even a no-start situation on damp mornings. This is where WD-40 earns its name, water displacement, Formula 40. It pushes out moisture and leaves behind a thin barrier that protects metal parts from corrosion. With the engine completely cool, spray a little on a clean cloth and wipe around the spark plugs and ignition wires. You can also mist the distributor cap lightly to keep everything dry. The benefits are real. Cleaner connections mean stronger sparks, smoother idling, and fewer cold start headaches. And if you've ever tried removing a spark plug that's rusted into place, a quick WD-40 soak can help free it without damaging the threads. Ignore this, and you're looking at misfire repairs ranging from $200 to $600, depending on the car. In older vehicles, moisture-related ignition problems can climb even higher when coils or distributors fail. A quick wipe with WD-40 every so often is cheap insurance to keep your ignition system healthy and your engine running reliably. Bonus reveal finding vacuum leaks. A trick even some mechanics don't talk about: diagnosing vacuum leaks with WD-40. If your engine idles roughly, sputters at stoplights, or throws a random check engine light, there's a good chance a vacuum leak is to blame. These leaks are sneaky tiny cracks in hoses or loose fittings that mess with your air-fuel ratio. The result? Poor fuel mileage, weak performance, and eventually costly engine damage. Here's where WD-40 really shines. With the engine running, spray a little around the vacuum hoses and intake connections. If the idle suddenly changes, you have just found your leak. The WD-40 gets sucked in and temporarily seals the gap, giving you a clear answer without expensive guesswork. Do this right, and you could save yourself a $150 diagnostic fee at the shop. Catch it early and you might avoid repairs that run into the thousands. And here's a pro tip: unlike carb cleaner, WD-40 is less volatile, so it's safer to use under the hood and won't damage plastics or sensors. Some veteran mechanics have sworn by this trick for decades. It's one of those simple old school methods that still works today. Then be sure to watch this video next, where I'm sharing mistakes that ruin your engine completely.